What is up, folks? My name is Gun Commentary, and I am just not even surprised at this point. So, I have news from two different video games by everyone's favorite little company, Activision Blizzard. And what are these news? Well, I'm going to talk a bit about Black Ops 7, and something that happened in the Overwatch community that I think is almost comically evil, or bad at least, or it's a very Blizzard thing. I think that is the perfect way to describe it. So now that everyone knows what we're talking about, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. Firstly, these are pretty old news by now, but everyone knows how Battlefield 6 is currently with its open beta web noding. How can I say this without getting demonetized from YouTube and getting my account banned? Activision Blizzard is getting their shit handed to them by EA, because apparently now EA is less greedy than Activision Blizzard. That is a sentence I never thought I was gonna say, but here we are, I guess. Dear Christ in heaven. That has happened now, apparently. And some of the things going on with, the Battlefield 6 beta, because that is just doing wonders. It is also my memory doesn't fail me, and if my sources are wrong, there are rumors that they're not going to have a battle pass in it, and that was the reason why XQC got pissed. I love that clip, by the way, of XQC being like, the game's gonna fail because they don't have a battle pass and they don't have a ranked mode. I've seen it, I know that's not exactly what it said, but it was a fun little thing on the internet. At least they are playing it very safe with Black Ops 7, because apparently it's going to be a bit of like, they're going to bring back a bunch of Black Ops 2 maps, and here are some news from IGN. Once again, these news are a bit outdated, I think, but yeah. Black Ops 7 is reportedly launching with 16 multiplayer maps, including 3 remastered fan favorites from Black Ops 2. They're going to be Raid, Express, and Hijack. All great maps. I'm sure they're not going to, mess them up and make them into some small brain rot stuff, and with how full the game is of campers. Yeah, there's also going to be 16 6v6 maps at launch, which is, I guess, alright. The league also points to 2 additional maps for Skirmish, a large-scale mode with wingsuit. But we all know how COD is, so they're probably going to just be people camping. Ghost of Hope, which is one of the most reliable leakers in Call of Duty, added that post-launch content is expected to be plentiful, though no other specific maps were named or the base release. And there are some parts about the campaign, but you'll be able to play as a bunch of different characters, and you're going to be able to play as in a co-op of 4. The lineup includes Section, who's the main protagonist of Black Ops 2, Harper, so now we know which version of the story is canon, Samuels, and Karma. Alright, if my memory doesn't fail me, isn't it that you have to basically kill Harper for Karma to survive? Anyhow, COD being COD, I guess. I also saw that they released their new, the pre-order, that you'll be able to play as Ted, aka the bus driver from Transit. Woo! I knew I needed to play as Ted. This is gonna be game of the year. I can already tell that it is. Also, it's gonna be $69.99, and there's no signs of, either the battle passes or skill-based matchmaking or the black cell or any of that going away. So well, now we know that it's gonna be another one of those $70 games with $30 battle passes and $30 bundles. This is also the thing about COD right now. Literally, Battlefield 6 is giving the COD fans what they want: a realistic military shooter without Nicki Minaj and the fucking Ninja Turtles, and without Beavis and Butthead. And COD just does not seem to understand that. And right now, they're doing everything to, be like, oh, Black Ops 7's gonna have this, and this, and this, and this, and this. But it's like, the COD community these days, we do not have any faith left in Activision Blizzard. We know that they're just gonna fill the game with a bunch of shitty DLCs, a battle pass that just sucks ass, and is pay to win as well. Yeah, and also, if you try to grind the battle pass in a way that is maybe not playing the game or buying the fucking, if you do that, well, you're gonna get banned. We all know, I think most people at least know. Okay, if not, then I'm gonna tell people, yeah. But there was a way of, in Plunder, to basically do something with your handheld controller, so you'd be able to just run around and AFK, because the dumb thing about COD's battle pass system is that it's not based on how well you do, but it's based on how much time you put into the game, which is, dystopian as well. But the way to do that, so the games are going on. You're just there existing and getting all the battle pass tiers, because the battle passes in COD is just, they take an insane amount of time to grind, and now they've banned a bunch of people doing that. Even back in fucking Cold War, Black Ops Cold War, what was it, like 5 years ago, even back then people did stuff like that. The people who did back in Cold War, they're banned now, but they don't give actually not give a flying fuck about cheaters and all of that, and they don't give a flying fuck about the people who are trying to play the older games without about, you know, getting RCE'd, because that's still going on. We haven't forgotten about how they fumbled COD World War II. So now they're basically in panic mode, trying to milk every single penny out of Black Ops 7, and this is gonna be priced for $70. People are most likely not gonna buy it here. Store. Okay, it's gonna be $69.99 as well. I think that for most people, they're going to pay for Battlefield 6 instead. And a lot of for Battlefield 6, they're currently calling it Ultimate Total War Experience. And yeah, it just looks great. And the tags are now looking good. Everything's looking good with Battlefield 6. But if we check launch Black Ops 7 on Steam, currently on Black Ops 7, some of the most trending tags on Steam are, here we go, capitalism and AI. That says everything we need to know about what people think of Black Ops 6 these days. Anyhow, let's talk about that other Activision Blizzard game that just keeps flopping and flopping and flopping. So the other story for today is no more oddballs. Here's a from the forums of Blizzard. Someone took this from one of the latest interviews, and there was an interview with Wu Yang, no idea how to pronounce his name, Avatar The Last Waterbender, as I like to call him when I'm playing against him. And here's what they've said about it from the interview. It's all a part of more focused design philosophy Blizzard developed after Overwatch 2's launch. One of the prioritizes heroes people can make deeper connections with. We all know the connections people have with Overwatch heroes, and they come from Rule 30. We always will approach making Overwatch heroes ... aspirational in some sense. Lead concept artist Daryl Tan said. They're aspirational in their physique, in their expertise of what they do, and just being really cool heroes that we can look up to. Okay, let's talk about some of the heroes. Kiriko, she is a... Okay, I don't even know if I can say this. Fuck it, I'm doing it anyway. She's an anorexic... Please I can edit that and blur it a bit. I don't want to get banned from YouTube again. Anyhow, that approach makes it easier to tell evocative stories. Which fucking stories? Didn't they trash the PvE? But it does narrow the scope of who a character can be to an extent. Pan said this aspirational design, why the team moved away from oddball heroes like Wrecking Ball and ... Ramatra in some favor of more conventional and conventionally attractive characters. There we go. Now I see what deeper connections they want them to do. Huh? You know, when it's late in the evening and you've got your handful of Vaseline and, however, he also said that the team is eager to sprinkle these non-human heroes in over time and tease exciting stuff down the road in that regard. Here's what someone said about this, and I agree with this fully. That is a bit of a letdown. Honestly, at Overwatch 1 launch, we had weirdos like Hagen Rat, or unconventional females like Zarya and practical launch state Ana. But worth noting, Ana is the best designed hero in Overwatch 2. I'm willing to die on that hill. And yes, I'm an Ana main. Then we kept getting pretty unique characters. Orisa, Mora, Sigma, Ball as mentioned. It's definitely starting to peter out in Overwatch 2. If they weren't an Overwatch 1 character, Sojourn Queen, Ram, Maga, then they're a spunky, young, good-looking do-gooder. Even Hazard feels a bit on the safe side for his potential punk peak. Also worth noting, I'm not a punk guy, I'm a goth guy. There is a difference. I know people don't know anything about the difference between punk, goth, and emo, but yeah, there's a difference. Hazard is less punk than Younger Queen. I'll just say that. Style-wise, Hazard is more an e-boy than a punk. Sorry, not sorry. It feels like a cheap way to sell more skins. When you make a plain looking character, you can obviously dress them up however you'd like, with very few design notes I think here. What do you think? Do you think more of these oddballs, or do we really care about whichever way the design philosophy goes? I'm gonna say this as someone who mains a couple of these, oddball characters. I remember a couple of years ago when Blizzard had that diversity tool, that they're like, okay, a character should be like this or that. There should be something that makes them really unique. For example, Ana, she has one eye, she's old, she's not the most conventionally attractive character. And then we have Ramatra, a fucking robot dude who turns into some big beefy thing. Or we have Orisa, a robot horse. These weirdo, quote-unquote, designs is what was the core of Overwatch. Overwatch 1 was all about that everyone can be a hero. Whether you're a hamster or a 60-year-old with a sniper rifle, everyone can be a hero. Now these days, everyone who can be a hero is to be a young 20-something, good-looking Mary Sue with the fucking character of a plain piece of toast or something like that. Let's do a list of characters from Overwatch 2 and see what unique oddball things they have. I'm excluding Younger Queen and Sojourn because they were kind of in Overwatch 1. Kiriko, she's as interesting as a piece of an unbuttered piece of bread. And she's a 20-something meant to be attractive character. And a Mary Sue. And the fanfic. Okay, I should stop hating on Kiriko. I know the Kiri mains already want my address. I want to bomb my house. Then we got Ramatra, who is, pretty dang cool design. Big robot dude who doesn't fit any, who's very unique. I think Ramatra is really fascinating and a really cool character, and he had the potential of being insanely fascinating in the campaign. Let's describe the campaign. Still wondering which stories they're trying to tell. Anyhow, then we got Life Weaver, a 20-something physically attractive, overtly flirty, dude with peak physique and abs that I'm fucking jealous of. Yeah, we got that, and that's not very oddball. I mean, his kit is very odd. And after that, we've got Iari, who is 20-something. No, she's 18 even. Attractive, and yeah, also a fucking skin machine. Then we've got Moga. Yeah, aka the character everyone loves. I haven't met anyone who hates Moga. Though Moga is actually pretty unique, even though his personality is just big goofy guy with machine guns. He's still a bit more unique than all this other, because his physique is he's built in a way that just makes him look, he has 2 hearts, for example. That is fucking fascinating. There's at least something cool, and that makes him unique, the other character. Though, once again, 20-30 something muscular guy, still a bit boring, but yeah. Also, Moga is just plain evil, which I like. Finally, a character who has a character trait that isn't, oh, I'm a hero and I do good things because I'm a hero and I do good things. After that, we got Venture, which I think is one of the most, unique characters of having, even though Venture is a 20-something, maybe not as good looking with, the rock-munching teeth, but besides that, fairly good looking, 20-something character. But they don't do any Venture skins, so we know what that is. After that, we got, who did we get that? Oh yeah, Kiriko 2.0, as I like to call her. Didn't say anything there? No, probably not. Once again, 20-something, good-looking character who they gave her some very big assets in her design. There's so many wonderful clips of people joking about Juno's design, so I don't need to delve into that. Then we got Hazard, one of the most forgotten characters, and the idea of a punk person by a Blizzard executive. They could have actually, gone down to the street and talked to some actual punk people or people in the alt community, but it's Blizzard. I saw a video about this and someone said that he looks more like Buzz Lightyear, and I can't help but agree with it. I am not trying to, be oh, he's a peltar, but it's Blizzard trying to do something there. Anyhow, and then we got Freya, and yet another character who is a 20-something, good-looking. I feel like a broken record at this point. And now we got Wuyang, who is, that as well. The problem I have with Overwatch these days is also the characters, they're not very interesting personality-wise. They all share the same personality of oh, I'm this goofy do-gooder. And also, which stories are they telling? That is their whole argument. Yeah, once again, back in the day, there was someone in Overwatch everyone could relate to. If you were a bit more of a COD player, you like soldiers and stuff, you could play Soldier 76. If you're one of those 5 people who still watch Western flicks, you could play McCree. If you just, if you liked sniping, you could play with them. Or personality-wise, if you liked darker and edgier stuff, you could play Reaper. And I just called out myself out. Lovely. Anyhow, there was a bunch of variety back in the day. All the characters now. Who is Kiriko really, for? The Gooners. Who is Juno for? The Gooners. Who is Venture for? Oh shit, no one plays Venture. I'm gonna stop joking about that, but you guys see what I mean. The characters back in the day were iconic. If someone shows you a picture of Reaper, you're like, oh yeah, Overwatch. If someone shows you a picture of Widowmaker, it's yeah, Overwatch. If someone shows a picture of Winston, a gorilla with an electro cannon, you're like, yeah, that's Overwatch. All the Overwatch 1 characters, even the later ones like Echo and Brigitte, I'm getting some PTSD for goats, were yeah, these characters are actual characters. These are unique, very Overwatch characters. These days, all the characters, they could fit just as well into Apex or Valorant or, anything like that. And I'm tired of seeing that Blizzard does this with some genuinely great opportunities with cool characters. Give us another Wrecking Ball, please. Give us Jetpack Cat, please, Blizzard. Give us Jetpack Cat as a hero. I would buy a battle pass, actually. No, me, I would never buy a battle pass. For real money, at least. But yeah, what do you think about these 2 news stories? How Blizzard is just desperate with everything? Please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out some other videos from me, and until next time, this is Gun Commentary. Not stopping to make oddball characters and signing out. Take care, folks, and bye bye.